What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a My Hero Academia First Impressions video. I figured this would be a good time to make this video with the anime coming shockingly fast considering how few chapters there are, and fuck, there's already a 3DS game announced. It's kind of insane. But with all that said, you know, if you wanted to hear my thoughts on the series, if you've already read it, or if you haven't read the series and you want to know if it's something you'd be into, this video is for you. So what do I think of the series? The short answer is, it's pretty good. It's okay. I've only read 12 chapters, so I haven't gotten super far into the series. That's why this is a first impressions video, not like a review or anything. But I guess I can start by talking about the basic premise. It's basically a world where, unlike something like Superman, where he's the superpowered person, everyone else is normal, unless of course it's in like the shared universe thing, but whatever. Or like the X-Men, where there are mutant people with superpowers, but they're kind of on the down low, they're more rare. This is a world where it happens all the time, and you have superheroes and supervillains and schools that you go to become a superhero, and the main character has no powers, but he wants to get into the best school, the best of the best, and he has this bully character who I'm really not that big of a fan of, and what ends up happening is, and this is not really a spoiler because this is how everything gets started. He meets like the most famous superhero of all Might, and he can pass his power on to someone else. So he passes the power on to the kid after the kid shows that he's got what it takes to be a hero, and he has basically super strength. And he ends up getting into the school, and he meets some people, makes some friends, and that's pretty much as far as I've gotten. So that's the basic setup. It's an interesting idea to have a world of superheroes like this. It's been done before, I'm sure, but like I said, it's different than the more mainstream stuff like X-Men or like the Avengers, where, again, they're popular, but they're rare. And then in X-Men, they're kind of on the down low and rare, but, you know, there's that, and then a couple other series have done it. But this is kind of a cool idea where they're just everywhere all the time. Battles will just break out, and people will just watch, like, hey, superheroes are fighting a villain. So there's that. I'm not going to go, like, summarizing everything that I've seen so far. Like, if you've read it, you know, and if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil the actual main bulk of the content, but I guess we'll go into the characters. You have the main character, I believe his name is Midoriya, I believe his name. Yeah, I think that's his name. Because I can remember it because Midora from Toriko. He's not like Midora from Toriko, though, ironically enough. He's very cowardly, he's very shy, he's a huge, like, superhero otaku, he knows all the facts about all the superheroes, which is kind of a funny concept, and, you know, having no power but wanting to be a superhero, you kind of feel for him. I'm not a huge fan of, like, cowardly main characters, because you pretty much know exactly how they're going to develop as the story progresses, so that's kind of, you know, iffy. But he's okay so far, and the super strength or whatever, it's a pretty basic power, so he's really not that impressive of a main character, honestly. You have the bully, who has a more interesting power, I guess, because he, like, basically sweats fucking, like, nitroglycerin, and he can just, like, make massive explosions and fire abilities. But he's also just kind of, they used to be friends, but he's, like, a complete fucking dick. Like, this guy is just an asshole, and I really don't know why he's an asshole. He has, like, this huge pride, and he's stubborn, but he's a real piece of shit dick, and he really is, like, the one-dimensional bully that you see in movies, like kids' movies and shit, where it's just like, there's nothing to this character other than the fact that they're an asshole. There seems to be more to him, but yeah, outside of his powers and his costume, which looks really badass with the grenade arms. The thing on his head's kind of weird, but the grenade arms are badass. And I'll get into the artwork a little bit later, but yeah, aside from his costume and his abilities and everything, he's not really that great of a character either. Then we have, let's see, I don't know too much about the other side characters because I haven't seen much of them. The girl seems fine, she's kind of quirky, makes things float. Interesting little ability, she's okay. The other characters that don't have a lot of screen time so far, you got the class president guy who has super speed. I kind of like that his legs have like jets things in them to make him run fast. He seems okay, his costume's cool. Again, not much to say because this is just, you know, first impressions on like the first 12 or 13 chapters, so I guess I can talk about the teachers. Their homeroom teacher, he has an OP ability, like, this is fucking, I'm not gonna say, but it's like, what the fuck. All Might, though, he is pretty damn cool. He's funny. I don't want to give away like the specific thing about him. If you've read the series, you know what I'm talking about. But he's very funny and definitely surprising what that little thing that he has to keep secret is. But yeah, not much to say about him either, honestly. He's a nice guy. He's quirky. He's funny. He's over the top. But yeah, really not a lot to say about these characters. Hopefully they have room to grow, though, because as you can tell, I'm not super impressed by this cast. So that's the characters. The basic story, I kind of already said what it is, but to go a little bit deeper, again, not really a big spoiler, he gets the power passed to him, which is... I never really liked the idea of powers being passed to somebody because they don't really earn it. But this series does a good job of actually making him earn this. He has to train for 10 months straight, building up his body to take on this kind of strength. And even once he has the strength, he has to learn how to use it. He throws a big-ass punch, and he does a lot of damage, but he pretty much shatters his entire arm. So there's a trade-off there, and even though he was given the power, he still has to learn to master it. So that's fair. It's a good balance, and he's not just being handed something because he's got what it takes to be a hero. There's more to it than that, which I like. So, with that being said, I don't want to go too much further into the story, but I guess I can talk about the artwork, since I've already talked about the characters and the story and everything. The artwork for the series, I like the base style, like when they're just kind of talking and they have like a little smile or whatever. Some of the silly faces are okay. But I gotta say, some of the angry faces and sad faces, like, the author does this weird thing with, like, teeth and the way the mouth is open and just... There's some weird faces here. It's definitely an art style you have to adjust to. It's very different from a lot of other series. And it doesn't look like that on its base. On its base, it just looks like, oh, a simple art style, but... Yeah, very weird faces, a lot of times. But you can kind of get used to it, but I'm not a huge fan of those. But like I said, they can be gotten used to. They're not that bad at all. It's completely subjective, complete total preference, and it's not going to stop me from reading the series. Artwork should never stop anybody. Like when people are like, oh, I can't get into One Piece because the characters look so silly. Shut up, read it, or watch it. Just go for it. It doesn't fucking matter. You're doing yourself a disservice by ignoring a series based on how it looks. With that with that little mini rant out of the way, I digress. Back to My Hero Academia. Yeah, I think it's okay. The action is well depicted in the art, honestly, and like I said, some of the costume designs are really good. I like the art style. It's just some of the facial expressions kind of bother me. And yeah, but that's like a total nitpick. The characters aren't super impressive so far, but they have a lot of room to grow. And I definitely want to see the bully grow, because I feel like there could be more to him, and I want to see more from All Might and all the other characters. The main character has all the potential in the world to grow. It's just cowardly character turning brave and becoming a hero is just so been there, done that, so standard. And even if you haven't seen a bunch of stories like that, because I think that's what happens in Hitman Reborn. I could be wrong on that. And Hajime no Ippo is kind of similar, and I have seen Hajime no Ippo, but even if you haven't seen a bunch of stories like that, you still know exactly what's going to happen as soon as you see that they're cowardly and can't stand up for themselves. So that's probably going to be kind of a boring aspect unless they do it in an interesting or unique way. But overall, I'd say I enjoy the series. I'm going to keep reading it. The anime is coming out, but I'm not going to stop reading the manga. I can't trust Bones. Like, with Full Metal Alchemist and Soul Eater both ending up being like 50 episodes and both with anime-only endings and a bunch of changes, I can't trust Bones. I mean, they did Brotherhood, but that was like the one exception as far as I've seen. I don't know what other series they've done. I should probably look at their catalog of series that they've done, but those two in particular I know, like longer-running shonen series, both of them ended up getting cut short, so hopefully that doesn't happen with this series, but considering that it only has like 60-something chapters, it seems very likely unless they do a really short season, so yeah. But, and nothing wrong with Bones animation-wise or music-wise or anything. Fullmetal Alchemist, the original, I think it doesn't hold a candle to Brotherhood at all, but it's still a well-made story, I guess. I liked it when I first saw it. Then I saw Brotherhood, and I was like, wow, this was unbelievably way better to take the characters down these different roads, and it kind of made the original a lot weaker in my mind, but it's still well made. And Soul Eater I haven't seen much of, but it's very well made as well. So nothing against Bones from that, in that aspect. Just as far as the actual adaptation goes, I'm kind of worried. So I'm gonna keep reading the manga. May do like an overall thoughts on it once I'm much further in, but I like it. So yeah, I don't know if I'll review chapters by week when they come out. It just depends on how much I like the series, but yeah, if I drop Toriko, because that seems like something I might have to do because it gets like no views, I might start reviewing it. It's not all about the views, but Toriko gets like almost nothing for like the past month, so either people aren't interested in Toriko right now or something. I think one of my recent Toriko reviews got okay views, but like my average when I was doing Yu Yu Hakusho, which is an old series, not even something new, was like 12 to 13 views when I had less subscribers. My past few Toriko videos have gotten like 8, 6, like, and these are new chapters that are just coming out, so if it's not going to be worth reviewing because no one wants to see it, I won't review it, but you guys can comment below on that. Anyway, to wrap this up, I think the series is pretty good. I don't know how to say it, it's just kind of okay so far. Like I said, I've only read 13 chapters, I'm not judging the entire series, but I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10, okay, 6.5, decent, but it could become so great because it has the potential to become so great. So I'll just have to wait and see. Might make an update video to this, giving guys more thoughts as I get further in, maybe something more spoilery, I don't know. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of My Hero Academia in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram, I post things there sometimes. Give this video a thumbs up, that would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you see in here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.